Welcome back. Yesterday's assignment was solving one-step equations using addition or subtraction. Today we're going to solve equations using multiplication or division. So multiplication or division. So in the equation x divided by 3, so that's a fraction, x over 3 equals 9. The variable x is divided by 3. To solve for x, undo the division by multiplying each side by 3. This is an example of the multiplication property of equality. So just like yesterday, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to break what's holding the variable to the number. We're going to do the opposite. So the multiplication property says that if x equals 5, then 3x equals 15. Because if I multiply both sides by 3, so you would get 3x equals 5 times 3 is 15. If x equals negative 20, then x divided by 5 equals negative 20 divided by 5, which is negative 4. So all we're doing is saying that what you do on the left side of the equation, you have to do on the right side. So we're just going to do a couple examples, and then you guys are good to go for your assignment today. So solve each equation. 2/3 q equals 1/2. So this is going to be a little bit interesting because 2/3 is a fraction, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal. So what the reciprocal is, if I want q by itself, so that means I'm going to multiply, I'm going to flip this fraction, and I'm going to say, instead of 2/3, I'm going to say 3/2. So let me write that so you can see it better. 3/2. And I'm going to multiply both sides by 3/2. And so what you get, this 3 on top cancels out with this 3 on bottom, because 3 divided by 3 is 1. The 2 on top cancels out with that 2 on bottom. So when they all cancel out, it's just left with 1. But we don't put the number 1 when it's in front of a variable because we don't need to. We would say 1q, but we don't need to put that 1. So we're just going to say q equals, now we're going to multiply 1/2 times 3/2. So 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 2 is 4. So q equals 3/4. So when we have a fraction being multiplied by the variable, we're just going to flip the fraction and multiply straight across. So if we look here, 39 equals negative 3r. So this negative 3 is being multiplied by r. So what's the opposite of multiplication? It's division. So I'm going to divide by negative 3 on both sides. And the negative 3's cancel out, so I get r equals 39 divided by negative 3 is going to be negative 13. So r equals negative 13. Here we go. We have another fraction times our variable. So I'm going to rewrite it just so that we can maybe see it a little bit more clear. 3/5 k equals 6. So I'm going to, the 3/5 is being multiplied by k, so I'm going to multiply it by the reciprocal. So 5 over 3 on both sides. 5 over 3. The 5's cancel out because one's on top, one's on bottom, and the 3's cancel out, one on top, one on bottom. So on the left side, I am left with k equals. So we can do this two different ways. I can do 6 times 5, which is 30, then divide by 3, which is 30 divided by 3 is 10. Or I can do 6 divided by 3, which is 2, and 2 times 5, which is 10. So either way, I get k equals 10. So 6 times 5 is 30. 30 divided by 3 is 10. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 2 times 5 is 10. Let me write this one down again. Negative 1/4 equals 2/3 b. Alright, so I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. So 3 halves times 3 halves. On the right side, they cancel out, equals b. b is left on the right. On the left, I have 3 times negative 1, 3 halves times negative 1/4. So 3 times negative 1 is negative 3 over 2 times 4 is 8. So negative 3/8. And so that's it. Let me do it. I'm going to just off the cuff throw a couple examples out there. So let's do, what would this be? 3b. We'll say 4. Number 4. We'll say x divided by 8 equals 2. So x is being divided by 8, so I'm going to do the opposite, which is multiply by 8 on both sides. 8's cancel out. I get x equals 16. If I had, so we'll call this 5. If I had 6y equals 18. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide by 6. Divide by 6, I get y equals 3. And so this is what you guys are doing. Let's do another fraction one. Let's go with 2/3 x equals 12. So I'm going to take the reciprocal, 3 halves, flip the fraction, 3 halves, cross those out, they cancel. X equals 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. And that's my answer. So that's what you guys are going to be doing. This is what your assignment looks like. We have a couple example problems, but then you're just going to go ahead and do these. You're going to do them on your own. And like always, reach out if you need some help. Don't worry about doing number, so I'll cross out a couple of these. Don't worry about doing number 7. Don't worry about doing number 10. That looks good. Yep, that should be alright. So don't worry about those two problems. Alright guys, have a good day.